Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you. So we're going to be talking about Ukraine and Russia. And as you can see here on the screen, Kharkiv has been hit again near the Russian border. If you didn't know, Kharkiv is one of the largest cities in Ukraine. I think it's like Ukraine's second largest city. Came under attack again. And the biggest news here is that Vladimir Putin has officially ordered his troops to launch a massive ground assault towards Kharkiv and multiple other regions nearby. And now this is aimed towards creating what Putin has called their planned buffer zone. Okay, they want to create a buffer zone in Ukraine where they push the enemy back away from their border. And once they do this, it will supposedly help out with these attacks that are happening inside of Ukraine. Obviously, I don't think the drone attacks, it'll really help much with that. But the Belgorod region came under attack just in the last few months. There was an incursion into the country in the Belgorod region and several other regions, I think the Kursk region as well. So they're trying to prevent Ukraine from launching attacks inside of Russia. And now I've been talking about this for actually several months now, that Russia was planning to try to take Kharkiv. Okay, that's one of their big objectives, is taking the city of Kharkiv. It's not going to be easy for them to do that, but they just launched a massive ground assault just here in the last 24 hours. And I think this is something like 50,000 troops, okay? A pretty massive ground assault, several hundred vehicles, rocket launchers, everything. We'll be showing you guys some video footage. This is a pretty major attack. I also have footage of Volodymyr Zelensky announcing that this ground assault has taken place. And admitting that they're going to be in a difficult situation here, okay? And when you look at his face here in the video pretty soon, he definitely seems worried about this, and I think Ukraine should be worried, okay? This is a very, very big attack, and this comes after the inauguration of Vladimir Putin, okay? He just spoke during the inauguration, I think it was just yesterday or the day before, and while he was there speaking to the Russian people, he told them that they will win. Okay, he said, we will win this war. We're going to band together and we are going to defeat Ukraine. So soon after that, that's when we see this major ground assault being launched towards Kharkiv. So I want to show you this here too real quick on a map, because there's a town called, I don't know, remember the name of this town. Let's see, Vovchansk, okay? So this town right here, so look at how close it is to the border, okay? Kharkiv is right here. It's only about an hour's drive from the Russian border. Okay, let's zoom out real quick so you can see. So here's the border of Ukraine, right? Here's Russia. So they have launched an attack all along this line here, okay? Russia controls this region down here. They've got a lot of the Donetsk region, Luhansk, all this, right? But now they want to take the Kharkiv region, the Sumy region, and the Chernihiv. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Cherniv region. They want all of this over here. Okay, so they've launched a major ground assault near Belgorod, Kursk region, and also up here in the north. They've completely sent 50,000 troops in this region to attack, and they want to take all of this, okay? Kharkiv is obviously one of their major objectives, but part of this buffer zone is they want to draw a line here. We'll show you a map in just a minute, where they've got, you know, a good, I don't know, 1/3 of Ukraine right here, okay? Kind of where I'm lining here. But Kharkiv would be one of the major cities that they would take. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. But there's lots of fighting being reported near this city right here. It's not a super big city, but kind of a bigger one near the Russian border with Ukraine. And this has been coming under attack here, and Ukrainian forces are being moved away, actually, from many other parts of the front line, and they're starting to send them up here on the northeastern side of the country, because it's coming under attack so heavily from the Russians right now. Okay, so I wanted to show you that on a map. And let's go ahead and get right into this as well. This is on Al Jazeera. Let's get you some extra information here. Russia attempts ground offensive into Ukraine's Kharkiv. Ukrainian forces fighting to halt new Russian assault aimed at creating Putin's planned buffer zone. Okay, so just like what I was talking about, that's what Putin has been saying for a very long time. The Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, has come out and said that as well, that the only way they can move forward here is to create a buffer zone inside of Ukraine. And that includes the Kharkiv region, Sumy region, Chernihiv, probably not saying that right, but Chernihiv region, Okay, so they want to take a large part of Ukraine coming up here very soon. They're launching this offensive right now. Russian forces attempted an armored ground invasion of Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region with artillery and guided aerial bombs, Ukrainian officials have said. On Friday, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense said that Russian forces tried to breach Ukraine's defenses near the town of Vovchansk, that town I was showing you just right by the border, with armored vehicles at 5 a.m., hitting an area near the border with aerial attacks. The assaults had been repulsed, but battles of varying intensity continued, it said. Senior Ukrainian military source told the Reuters news agency that Russian forces had pushed 1 kilometer into the region. They aimed, he said, to advance as far as 10 kilometers or 6 miles to establish the buffer zone that Russian President Vladimir Putin promised to create earlier this year as a means of halting Ukrainian attacks on Russian border regions. So that's what I was talking about there. What they're not trying to prevent these drone attacks when it comes to this whole buffer zone. What this is these ground incursions that have happened, where there was like the I think it was called the Free Russia Legion. There were several groups that started forming together that were fighting for Ukraine. Many of them, I believe, were actually Russians that were fighting for Ukraine and launching ground incursions into the Belgorod region, the Kursk region, and just creating mayhem, basically, and fighting against the Russian army inside their own territory. So they're trying to prevent that from happening ever again. Ukraine had previously said it was aware that Russia was assembling thousands of troops along the northeastern border. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his forces were prepared for the ground assault. Ukraine met them there with troops, brigades, and artillery. He told a news conference, Ukraine has sent more forces to the area as reinforcements. Vitaly Ganchev, a Russian-installed official in the Kharkiv region, said on the Telegram app that there was fighting on several parts of the line of contact, including in the border areas, and asked residents to be careful and not to leave shelters without an urgent need. Kharkiv's governor, Ole Sinubov, said the authorities were evacuating about 3,000 civilians from Vovchansk, that town that we were talking about earlier, right by the border, fewer than 5 kilometers, 3 miles from the border, which had come under heavy shelling. So, like I said, major attack going on right now. I'll cite this down below. You guys can read the rest if you want to. I just wanted to talk more about this attack on Vovchansk and also this attack on Kharkiv. So again, here's some more footage for you that we were seeing earlier of attacks on, actually, again, what I was seeing was civilian targets, okay? Lots of housing communities, once again, in Kharkiv, completely obliterated and destroyed. And, we've been continuing to see this. I've been reporting this frequently over the last maybe 2 months of Kharkiv coming under attack quite often, and also their thermal power plants in the area coming under attack as well. So definitely one of the major objectives that Russia wants. They want to take this area from Ukraine, okay? So I want to talk about this some more. I've got a couple more things to show you. We'll watch a little bit of video footage as well. And also, we will watch this video that you see here with some sound so you can hear these firefighters trying to, take care of people here and help out the wounded and their homes that have been destroyed by the aerial attacks that have been launched by Russia. So let's talk about this here on X. This is from Shadow of Ezra. Major panic in Ukraine. Russian troops have started a ground assault in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region at dawn today, making progress of 1 kilometer close to the border town of Vovchansk with the objective of establishing a buffer zone. You can tell by Zelensky's facial expressions that he appears worried. During his inauguration, Putin declared to his country, "We will win." And it seems he has initiated a major assault. Will Zelensky surrender, request more money, or pursue a peace deal? So let me just talk about this for a minute. Think about this, okay? Yes, the United States approved $60 billion plus for Ukraine. Many other European countries are providing Ukraine weapons as well. But a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, it came way too late, okay? And I think that's why Russia's launching this offensive now. We also reported just in the last week or two that Russia was bombing their train stations and railways to prevent aid from getting to the front line. That's how we knew something big was coming. There was lots of reports as well coming out that I've done that Russia was preparing to launch a major ground offensive towards Kharkiv and just in Ukraine in general. coming either this summer or this spring. So now it's technically still springtime right now, getting close to summer, and they've launched this offensive. So let's take a quick look at some of these videos. We got a map here that shows the regions that I'll show you where they're going to be coming under attack. We've got some rocket fire coming from the Russians, I believe, and then we'll have this statement coming from Volodymyr Zelensky on this assault on Kharkiv. So let's take a look at these real quick.
Не переживай, протяну назад. О, да, ну куда?
Okay, so yeah, just wanted to show you that video there in full screen and get you some sound. So as you can see, definitely a devastating attack on the Kharkiv region, and many homes destroyed here. And hopefully, I don't know if there was any casualties or anything like that. I wasn't able to find that information. These articles that are coming out right now are more talking about the assault that Russia's launching right now. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a few more things here for you. Next up is going to be this map. Okay, so I want you to see, these are the 3 regions right now that Russia's launching assaults into. And I want to show you here because it gets a good example of this red line where they want to take, okay? They don't have control of these regions right now. They've got control down here, the Russians, that is. They have the Luhansk region, you know, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Kherson. They've got a lot of this control down here, which is where a majority of the fighting has been most of this time. And whenever there was attacks inside of Russia, just in the last few months, actually, they happened up here, okay, in this region near Kharkiv, Sumy region, because I believe Belgorod is somewhere over here, and then Kursk region up here. So that's where these attacks happened whenever Ukraine had these other groups that were helping them out, that I believe were Russians fighting on behalf of Ukraine, that were launching incursions into Russia in this area. So they want to take control of this so that way Ukraine can't do that anymore. And then it'll create a better battlefield situation for them where they can continue, you know, fighting against Ukraine. And then that way their citizens in Russia don't have to be evacuated from, you know, from the border regions of Russia. So this is the areas that they're currently working on right now to try to take Sumy, Kharkiv, and Chernihiv, okay? So once they get control of this, they'll have complete control of the eastern side of Russia. And this is one of Putin's big objectives right now, and this is what they call the buffer zone, okay? Once they take control of this, this is not Russian land. This is technically Ukrainian land that would be annexed by Russia, and it would help keep the enemy back, being Ukraine. Okay, so I wanted you to see that. Next up is going to be another video of Russia launching these rocket attacks on Ukraine, so we'll take a look at this as well.
Нихуя пошло. Вон сзади тоже, смотри, вон сзади тоже.
Okay, so basically just the same thing we're seeing there. Definitely launching major rocket attacks onto Ukraine's Kharkiv region. So again, this is probably the result of all these houses that were destroyed and everything. It was them launching these aerial attacks using these rockets. I don't know if they were using their fighter jets or bombers or anything like that. I believe they were using guided missiles on Ukraine. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how Ukraine is able to handle this attack here. But like I said, we're going to be watching this video coming up next now of President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. And let me tell you, he definitely seems worried. So let's take a look at what he has to say as well.
Я думаю, що всі заяви абсолютно чесні і справедливі. Росія почала нову хвилю контрнаступальної дій на цьому напрямку. Україна зустріла їх там нашими військами, бригадами і артилерією. Важливо, що вони можуть збільшувати і підтягувати ще сили в цьому напрямку, це факт. Але наші військове командування знали про це і розраховували свої сили для того, щоб зустріти вогнем ворога. Зараз йде жорстокий бій в цьому напрямку. Артилерійським вогнем, з того, що мені відомо на сьому ранку, десь восьму ранку. Ми її зустріли вогнем, і я вважаю, що на цей час ми зупинили артилерійський вогнем.
Okay, so as you can see, I mean, I believe he looks pretty worried there. What do you guys think? It's definitely not a good sign. And again, we'll have to see how Ukraine is able to hold up against this attack. But what's going to happen here in the event that they're not able to hold these areas? Let's say they lose the Kharkiv region, Sumy, and Chernihiv. Is the West just going to let those areas fall? What's going to happen here? Is Ukraine going to call for France and all these other countries to come and back them? Because I've been reporting that as well, okay? I know that may sound crazy, but that's a real thing if you didn't know about that. Ukraine has said many times that they may call for assistance from NATO or especially France, okay? And France has said if they call for our aid, we will come and back them. We will send our troops to Ukraine and fight against the Russians. They have said that. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, has come out and said that numerous times, okay? Be prepared to fight against Russia, that we cannot let Russia win. So how is this going to look on the Western countries who are currently providing, tens of billions of dollars in aid? And if Russia successfully takes these regions, let's say over the next couple months or maybe even sooner, the way that Volodymyr Zelensky looks on his face, that looks like they could be collapsing very quickly. At least that's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, this assault here on Kharkiv and all these regions up here in the northeastern side of the country, this is a very massive assault, okay? We're talking 50,000 plus troops, hundreds of tanks, hundreds of missile launchers. Okay, this is a very, very, very big attack from Russia, and they've been preparing for this for a very long time now. And I don't think this one's going to end like how it did towards the beginning of the war, when the attack on Kharkiv basically failed from Russia. I think this one may be completely different, and this is also a very massive assault, okay? 50,000 troops. So we'll have to see the outcome of this and what's going to happen, but I wanted to share this information and get this out there to you. That's going to be it for this update, though. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell, that way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.